What's up? What's going on, guys? Shampoo here at Anime Central. Yes, here for this Jormungand. Last episode, y'all. Yes, this last episode, episode 12. Live reaction. But before we get into it, guys, I want to remind everybody about the Patreon. If you're interested in becoming one, check out the link in the description, guys. You'll find all the information there. Become a part of the channel. Become a part of voting for the extra live reactions that I do outside of the seasonal shows that I'm going to be reacting to and stuff. It's fun. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? Make your voice heard. That's what it's all about. It's about making your voice heard. All right. So, last episode, guys. Let's see where this shit's gonna take us. Let's see how it's gonna end. I'm gonna talk about the whole thing after we get everything done, and let's go.
I've watched every day for 2 years, waiting for Coco to throw the switch. But she hasn't. Jormungand's still a dream, and the sky's still open for business.
Wow.
And just like Coco warned us, the land and the sea have been set on fire. Water, food, money, territory, race, religion. The fighting started for all sorts of reasons. Casper keeps saying we're on the brink of World War III. I can only imagine what Coco would say.
See, Jonah? 700,000 lives gone in the blink of an eye.
Bruh.
Yo, seems like the whole world's cooking nice and hot, isn't it? You raking in the dough?
You really have to ask?
Let's go.
Honestly, the Arab Peninsula has become too sticky. What with plunging themselves into the 6th Middle Eastern War. Only ones making money there are young dealers willing to risk they can get out fast. So, how is it in North Africa?
If you beeline from Somalia to Mauritania, you'll be in danger every step of the way. Ultimately, every such and such spring uprising failed. At least they don't have dictators, but they sure as hell don't have peace. How about Southeast Asia?
I had great customers in Indonesia, but it's way too hot for me now. Since they got a new administration 2 years ago, one more state joined the independence movement, but 5 vanished. And all the leaders were executed. Meanwhile, friction with the Chinese immigrants keeps getting worse, terrorists set off bombs every day. With all the chaos, the Strait of Malacca has been closed to American ships. Speaking of terrorists, I hear London lost Big Ben. People are saying it blew sky high.
Actually, the opposite. They toppled it, completely disintegrated its base. All the countries in the old Eurozone have become nests for terrorist groups. The lower classes are targeting civil servants now.
Sounds like a civil war brewing. At least it's not South America. They've got civil war down to an art form. Thanks to drug cartels and the right-wing guerrillas, attacks there are as routine as driving a car.
It's a similar story in East and West Africa. They're fighting over water in the east and mineral mines in the west. Although the reasons they give to rally the troops are never that straightforward, of course.
Naturally. Amidst all that, America and the new Soviet Union have gotten back to their old precarious balancing act. And Poland has shut down their missile defenses.
The new Soviet Union. Because the Cold War was so much fun the first time. Anyway, I heard you're on board a ship in the 7th Fleet. Aren't they getting ready to air raid India?
Just a little heat to keep people honest. The Far East is in no shape for war. The yuan's worth about as much as toilet paper, so the Chinese Federation is too busy with their economy. And United Hong Kong still doesn't even have a president. Businesses in Japan are on the edge of a cliff, too. Depending on whether they built factories in the south or north, they're either in heaven or the pits of hell. Speaking of, has that company you saved with new stock survived? Kisaragi Photochemical Engineering, right?
They didn't build any factories abroad, so they're doing fine.
You don't say. Now tell me,
2 years.
When do I get to see this new world you've been so carefully planning?
you've been busy, Coco.
Oh, you noticed.
I've been working in this business for a long time. I can usually tell what someone's thinking just by reading their face.
So in defense of the kid's honor, I want you to know that he never told me why he left your team. Not one word the whole time.
Why are you saying it like that? Jonah's still with you, right?
Well, for now, yeah. But like I said, I can read faces. Jonah's gonna quit. Could be as soon as today. He's a highly skilled operative, so losing him is gonna hurt. You know how he is. He hasn't complained once, but I can tell his frustration's been building. He doesn't agree with my methods.
Marathon phone
Obviously,
call.
that's no surprise.
Stop it.
Oh, relax.
So, how did you figure out my
Bad
plan?
too.
About 2 years ago, Scarecrow started pestering me.
What are you and your damn sister planning this time, huh? My boss sealed Coco's files. He won't tell me anything. Why, Casper?
I'm in the dark. I'd say you should ask Coco.
Shut up! Or so help me, I will throw you in the slammer!
If I was in the dark, then I knew you weren't acting under HCLI's direction. Also, Jonah quit working for you, and whatever you were doing was big enough to make the heads of the CIA clam up. Those were the pieces, I just had to assemble the puzzle.
You know I'm not gonna talk about it on a satellite phone.
Oh, so I did connect the dots. And that's why you chose me for your next mission.
Me and my team protecting baby's sister. I understand. We're heading there now. Yep, you heard me. We'll talk later, kid. Let's move. Call in the team.
God damn. Oh shit.
It's looking nasty.
It's the safest launch site we could get. All we can do is hope a stray round doesn't hit the rocket. Tucked inside that baby's payload fairing is a highly sophisticated quantum computer. It's Jormungand's second brain.
Oh, the Midgard Serpent.
Our global network of information. It can all be controlled by a satellite in space, safe from human interference. That's why it's flawless, because no one can get in its way. Tell you what, Casper, I'll give you the short version.
Fuel engaged in pre-flame reaction. Hydrogen peroxide injected into generator. 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
Oh shit.
You must be thrilled, Coco.
What is going on in his head right now, man?
Successful launch. That's quite a relief.
Wow! The Jormungand I shrunk down is in space. Astounding.
Wow! I can't believe I'm seeing this! Look, Babs, she's crying! Miss Stone Cold Layla is crying! Not so tough after all!
I suppose not. Since when am I stone cold? And you don't have to agree with her, Babsy.
It said Jormungand once encircled the Earth, blocking the light of the sun and the stars, and forcing the land to sink into the seas. How will Jormungand change the world this time, now that it controls the sky?
Yeah, who the hell knows? Let's see what happens. What? You thought your plan would upset me? Obviously, it's gonna deal a heavy blow to HCLI in the short term, and the global grid could be wiped out entirely. But in the long term, profits will only go up. If you shut down the skies, we'll be limited to land and water distribution. That's what the company was founded on. Floyd will bitch and moan for a while, but in the end, he'll be happy. I won't tell him that, of course. It wouldn't be fun. Do you really believe our world will ever be free of weapons, Coco? Come on. If I don't have aerial weapons, I'll sell naval ones. If I didn't have battleships, I'd sell tanks. I'd sell firearms. I'd sell longswords. I'd sell hatchets. You could rid the world of iron, and I'd sell wooden clubs. There is always a bigger stick. After all that talk, she leaves on a plane.
What's that?
Nothing. Just thinking out loud. Guess she won't be activating it just yet.
Excuse me, Casper? Would you mind pulling over for a minute? I'm grateful for all you've done, but I'm leaving. This is fine. Can you let me out here?
Wow.
You've been a good employer, really. I have no complaints. But I've made up my mind.
Wait, that's crazy talk. What's gotten into you?
Poe, stop the car, would you?
Yes, sir. Alan, we're stopping.
10-4.
You've got a lot to learn about business, Jonah. You don't just say you quit and walk. 2 weeks' notice is the standard. But to be fair, it's hardly accepted practice to employ minors as armed security, am I right? If someone charged me with violating child labor laws, I'd be up the proverbial creek. I figured out a long time ago if you ever quit, I couldn't stop you. So that's how it's gonna play out. Fact is, in a strange way, you and I are equals.
We're what?
Your skills as a soldier and mine as an arms dealer make us equally strong. And that means I have to handle you carefully. You see, for my own sake. You also know a dangerous amount about how I conduct my business. I'm gonna need you to stay quiet about that.
I'm not a talker.
Good. Now on to the matter of the 3 orphan kids in Japan.
What about those kids?
Should have known Casper would bring up the kids like this. He's telling Jonah what'll happen if any secrets get out.
The 2 of us will support them together till they're old enough for college. They'll get 1 shot at their entrance exams. How's that sound?
Thanks, Casper.
Don't thank me. Like I said, you are shelling out half of it yourself. But don't worry, even minus that, you're still pretty rich. These are your Swiss bank account papers. And your passport. These are critical for your new life, Jonah. Don't lose them. You worked out better than I ever would have guessed. The child soldier with a heart of gold.
Huh? What the?
Why did I take my guns? Casper should have said something.
Casper!
Knock it off, Chiquita! This can't be very good for my spine! And like I told Jonah, it was the best option I had. It's unusual for you to get this upset about stuff. You must have really taken a liking to him. Or am I wrong?
Of course I did! He was so strong and so cute!
Jeez, she acts as if she just lost her favorite pet.
Damn it, Jonah, what are you thinking? And where will you go? You're too young to be alone.
You'll see him again. Even I feel sorry for the kid. He's developed a taste for weapons at an early age. He tries to reject them, but carries them without even thinking. It's a big world. When you part ways with someone, you may never see them again. But for those who've taken up arms, the world is a much smaller place. And it's only gonna get smaller now.
Toss it. We're gonna toss it.
I can't. No. I can't take it anymore.
Do something, Coco!
Sure thing, Jonah.
Oh, shit.
can I send letter to you? See it through in a phrase. I love you. See, here's your rainbow.
Oof, that's some wind.
What is it, Maurice? Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing.
You should take a quick break, Maggie.
Thanks, Doctor, but I'm fine.
What is vibes, man?
We should let up on Casper's group. Go after someone else. Those people are nothing but bad news.
Shut it! Just hurry up and finish that damn bug.
Wow.
Karen! Come on! Let's hike out to those hills! Sunshine! Butterflies!
No, we can't do that now. Miss Hekmatyar gave us strict instructions to stay here till it's done.
The hair.
Okay, then how about Mahjong? We've got enough players.
Yes, Doctor. That would be acceptable.
As young soldiers in combats. Sing a song, your love song. See your rainbow in the song. To forgive, to
Jonah, man.
the rainbow sails with you.
Still looking like dog shit.
I haven't eaten anything in 2 days. That might be a restaurant, but I don't speak the language here.
Boo. You've survived war, but you can't go into a restaurant alone?
Whoa, Lutz?
That's right, kid. It's me. Just call me your guardian angel. Here's a travel tip. The international gesture for food. Like this, see? Then give them a couple of dollars. If it's not enough, you get to wash dishes. Hey, check out what the cat dragged in.
You're all here?
We were nearby when we heard you quit on Casper, so we came to get you. Though it's your choice, of course. Honestly, these guys have been a real pain in my ass without you being around. We could use another decent human. How about it?
You're here for me?
You've grown a lot in the last 2 years, kid. What have they been feeding you over there? As for me, well, I guess I just haven't had the same appetite without you being part of the team.
Thanks, Hugo.
Seems you've fallen behind on your language training, Jonah. Not much fun when you can't communicate with the locals, huh? I'm not totally fluent here, but I know enough to get by. It's been boring the last 2 years without someone to teach.
Hey, Wiley.
Come on, guys, what the crap? Nobody told me we were all giving mini speeches. I think you should make up your own mind, Jonah. But I would like you around. I'm bored with teasing Lutz.
Yeah, I bet.
Tried my best not to make a big deal of it when you left. I like to keep things professional. But the truth is, it hasn't been the same.
Hi, Mao.
Hey, Jonah. I never discharged you, so
man.
technically you've been AWOL this entire time.
I'm in trouble.
So, finally got sick of Casper's crap, huh? I always knew you'd come back eventually. I tend to become rather attached to my colleagues, and I didn't like you being gone. Now eat up, kid, before you pass out.
Thanks, Velmet.
Enough, guys. I'm gonna choke on all this kumbaya crap. Jonah, did you cross the Caspian Sea all by yourself? That's impressive. Have a drink, Officer Jonah. I would say you've earned it.
Coco.
I know, it's a touching reunion, but there's no time to waste. There's a reason we're in the neighborhood, and the team's got their heavy gear. This is dangerous territory, and it could go full-on war zone any minute. Baku, Azerbaijan. The new Soviet Union has their hearts set on the oil fields here. They're gathering at the border. But I'm the kind of woman who delivers on her promises. Took some time, but Jormungand is finally complete. I just have to send the activation signal. And once I do, I can prevent the new Soviet army from invading. You've had 2 whole years to think it over, Jonah. So what's the verdict? Who's more crazy, me or the world?
Will activating Jormungand really bring peace to the world?
I don't know, I'm no fortune teller. But I do like my odds. The heavens are about to experience over a century of retrogression. But we're wired to move forward, never back. And the sky that used to symbolize ultimate achievement and freedom will be closed to us. When we see the dawn or a soaring bird, we'll be reminded of what we were too reckless to keep. The humiliation of humanity will constantly hang over our heads. Do you think the human race will keep fighting then? Personally, I don't believe they will. Humans can't stand humiliation. That's one of the things that separates us from the apes.
But should I trust your intuition?
Well, I am a former arms dealer, and I did get you all mixed up in this to begin with.
I think that both you and the world are crazy. That said, I'm taking my chances with you.
I'm glad. Then I'll give you a front row seat, Jonah. Load up. Let's go!
They're reunited and it feels so good.
And so it was. I traveled with an arms dealer. Now, I will travel a new world with Coco Hekmatyar.
Activate!
All right, guys. Okay, so basically 2 years passed, and Jormungand was still in. There was still processes to Jormungand that needed to be done, and in that 2 years' time, she pretty much kept her distance from Jonah and stuff, and gave him time to think about it and everything, and he saw what she was saying was coming to light. Like, you're saying, hey, we're on the verge of another world war. Like, people are fighting everywhere over land, water, like, all these different things. And, by him seeing all this stuff, he got fed up with it. He's just like, that's why he was like, Coco, do something. You know what I'm saying? And in his eyes, he feels that, he should at least align his trust with her, and this shit's gonna go off. I mean, this shit's gonna happen, and just like he told her, he's like, look, Coco was like, look, I'm not a fortune teller. I can't guarantee this is gonna work, but from her idea, her plan, what they want to happen, it's the best course of action that she can do. And he's like, you know what, I'm gonna stick with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and back you on this. So is crazy. I mean, this it's a very it's a controversial thing, man. I mean, depending on which way you're gonna do it, but like I said, I think there's still a better way of doing it, but I just don't know, you know. Obviously, Coco and her friends pretty much thought it out for a long time, and they came up with their solution, and they feel like it is the right way to do it, you know. And I would like to see the aftermath of it and see if it actually does pan out the way that she does, but I'm not sure if we're ever going to be able to see that, you know. But wow, that's crazy. That is definitely crazy. And Casper is a hell of a dude that can be able to just judge a person's character and be able to look at them and just be able to tell just off of their attitude what they're doing, whether they're going to be, you know, for him or against him, or he knew he was going to be leaving. He was like, look, you're going to be leaving. It could even happen today. And sure enough, it happened, you know. And they keep so close tabs on each other that Coco's crew, they knew that he left. So they were there to pick him up. They were there to meet him and shit. So, you know, that's cool. You know, as far as you know, their unit, I think their unit's cool as shit. Even though they're arms dealers and stuff like that, you know, they're pretty much no better crew to be with that I would kind of think of. You know, I like all their characters. You know, their charisma. I like all the different individuals that's in Coco's squad and stuff. You know, we didn't really get to see in depth Casper's squad, but you know, we only got to see, what was her name, Chiquita, something like that. Her, but she's bad as shit, but she's pretty crazy. But you know, she grew to like Jonah in that time span as well. And just like Casper says, like, look, you look like you lost your favorite pet, you know. But as a whole, Jormungand season 1 and season 2, I enjoyed this series a lot. You know, I enjoyed it a whole lot. It was a great watch. Definitely, I would advise and recommend this series to anyone that is looking for a good, you know, action / you know, comedy, you know, series to check out, without a doubt, because it did have a great amount of laughs, and it had some great characters, it had some pretty cool music, and it had a whole lot of action. You know, and it was very intriguing. You know, I believe I don't really think I've really seen another series about arms dealers, you know, so it was cool to kind of see that. And anyone that's into a show like Black Lagoon, this is definitely a no-brainer to watch. You know, it reminds you of Black Lagoon, and you know, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily feel like it. So that's cool. And I believe it's like the same producer or same director or something like that of Black Lagoon is behind the show too. So that's cool in its own. But like I said, man, enjoyed all the characters. I love how, particularly with Coco Squad, since we spent so much time with them, that we got to learn about. It wasn't just focused on Jonah and Coco. You know, we got to learn about Velmed and Wiley and Leem and, you know what I'm saying, and Lutz and everybody, you know, what makes them click, and you know, their backstories and stuff. I thought that was really cool as the show went on. The series is called Jormungand, but you know, it you really don't understand why until these last few episodes. You know, that's when the name starts to take fruit in the series, and you see what it's all about. Because all before that, you really don't know. You know, it's just like, okay, it's called Jormungand, but why is it called Jormungand? You know, so you know that was, you know, that I'm not sure if that could have been done better or not. But honestly, it didn't really matter. You know, it was done well. You know, and it was executed pretty well as well. And it even gets you as a viewer thinking about it too, because you know, and you be conflicted about it, because I still am too. Even though Jonah made his decision, I'm still like, well, I don't know if that is the right thing to do, if that is the right path to take to achieve the goal that she wants to achieve. I'm still like so unsure about it, you know, and I can't really come up with an answer. You know, it's one of those things, because life is very delicate and life is precious. I understand the people that want peace, and through their experiences of seeing so many dead people and seeing all the things that they've been through gunfights and poverty and war and all these different things, you know, that's what drove her to have that plan that she had. You know, it's like, okay, it's collateral damage, but in the grand scale of things, we are going to be at least getting closer to a much peaceful world, you know, between everybody, if we can go ahead and do this, you know. And that's kind of the mindset that Jonah fell into as well. And he was, even at the end, he was still unsure about it, but he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and back you on this, because you know, like you're Coco, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is, he likes her too, you know what I'm saying? Like, he even said, she even said it, she was like, you're the only one that I love. Like, she kissed this dude on the mouth, you know what I'm saying, like 2 episodes ago and shit. Like, she loves this dude, and even though he's a child soldier, he's grown up a little bit, whatever, but you know, like, he's never really like expressed any kind of feelings about her, but he does like her, and he does like the crew. It's, I think, besides, outside of everything he's dealt with, you know, other than his immediate family that passed away before, and everything that died through, I believe, like Casper didn't kill his family, but Casper sold the weapons to whoever that actually did kill his family, whatever. That's kind of the closest family he has, and it did hurt him to leave, but you know, now that he's back, he feels at least a little bit at home, I think, you know. But yeah, man, like I said, guys, great series, enjoyed it. Valmet's bad as hell, you know what I'm saying? Coco's bad too, you know. And yeah, just enjoyed it a lot, man. But all right, guys, thanks for that. Thanks for voting for that one. That was a cool watch. Hopefully y'all enjoyed those reactions, man. And one last time, for you people that are not patrons out there, make sure you check out the link in the description. Definitely do that. Check out the info. It is what it is. All right. But all right. I'm Shampoo. Leave your comments below. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. See my videos go live. I'm Shampoo. Yeah, Anime Central, baby. And like always, thanks for watching. Peace. Yeah.